Hey everybody, trying something a little bit different today, which I'm super excited about. It's going to be I'm going to teach you everything you need to make money nutrition coaching specifically in 3 steps. That's going to be the focus of today's presentation. I typically do these webinars through Zoom and there's registration. I don't want to do any there's no funny business here, no gatekeeping. This is going to be us digging right into things and giving you everything you need to actually turn your passion for nutrition and helping people into money. Now, if the idea of making money is offensive to you, then it might be best to sign off. But I have a feeling by the end of this, even if you feel a little bit like that, um, I'll show you why earning money is best for the people that you help and the people that want your help and are looking to you, as well as is in your best interest to make this a career and to push this further. So let's dive into things. 3 steps to make money with nutrition coaching. Nutrition coaching, let's just go over a few basic things here. Nutrition coaching is for you if, number one, you're passionate about this stuff. Like maybe it's if you kind of daydream off in work and you think about the gym and what you're going to eat and what your next goal is and what to focus on and stuff, you're passionate about that stuff, and you like passing along this knowledge, and you'd love to be able to start nutrition coaching, but you're just not sure how to get started. Today's going to be for you. If people are looking to you as that person that's like, hey, Mark's done the diets. Mark's tried different things. He's transformed his body. He's like the person, my go-to person. They're asking you about this stuff, but you just don't know how to deliver it in a way that's like professional, that would, that would demand someone paying for it. Like I'm going to show you exactly what to do here today. And if you're listening to this, you're probably also ready for a change. You're probably ready to do something that like lights you up. That isn't just the thing that provides money. It's not the thing that just makes you income. It's the thing that you can't stop thinking about, that you'd love to do on your own terms, that you'd love to do in a flexible capacity, and you're probably ready for a change. If that's speaking to you, then nutrition coaching is for you. Why we're here today. The good news is with all this stuff is that nutrition coaching is like one of the fastest growing jobs and careers in the health and fitness industry. And the best news is, I'm happy to tell you this, there's room for you too. We're seeing a huge shift in terms of like smaller coaches doing amazingly well. Like people if you think about online coaching, which is how you deliver the coaching, I would always encourage you to do that. But if you think about online coaching, a lot of you probably think like, oh, I need a huge social media following. I got to build that up. I got to be an influencer and all that stuff. And all the coaches that are crushing it right now, that are doing like quite well on their own terms, they don't have any of those things. They're tapped into their networks and the people that already see them as the person that can help, and they're helping those people and making money doing it, and delivering a service that's professional, but they're tapping into the people that are already around them that see them as the person that can help, and they're crushing it. So there's room for you too, without a doubt. I can say that confidently. The best news is, if that was the good news, the best news is, as a nutrition coach, you can make self-employed money on a flexible schedule. So many people come through our network and come through our coaching program. They're like, I really wish I just had my own thing, something that I could put effort into, that I had control over, that I built up on my own. They also want to work with people that like actually want to work with you. Like maybe you're like a healthcare professional, and the patients that come by you, I wouldn't even say come to you, come by you, like they've been placed there. They have to be there. Or you're working for a boss or clients that don't really value you. They're just kind of like jumping through hoops, going through the motions, all those type of things. Like if you want to work with people that are like see you as the person that can help, that are bought in, that are doing the things that you say, that are taking the next step, like nutrition coaching is amazing for that. As well as today, I want to make today about like how to take your passion and turn it into money. But when you can do all that stuff and people transform, like listen, nutrition and fitness is the best vehicle for personal development and personal growth. When people can put effort into things that they have struggled with, and they finally change, and they see results, and it starts to impact their lives in ways like they never even knew possible in terms of like increased confidence. They're showing up in different ways. They're like brand new people. You could get to be a part of that. Like that's crazy. Like there's nothing more fulfilling than that. It's and if you can do that and make money doing it, it's the best of each and every world. So I'm excited to dive into this stuff here today. A couple housekeeping notes before I go too far here. If you're watching the replay, like absolutely feel free to leave a comment, or if you have a question, we're going to do questions at the end of this, as well as if you're watching right now and you have questions that come up as you go, I can address them as we go. That's the best thing about number one, just like getting to teach and doing it in this capacity, is that like this can be interactive. So by all means, like drop something, a comment, a thought in the chat. If you're just enjoying things, hit that like button as well, because that makes the video go even further. So I appreciate you being here today and interacting. I'm hyping this stuff up, but don't just take my word for it. We've got survey data here, thanks to the Personal Trainer Development Center that surveyed a bunch of different fitness professionals around the ones that had a second specialty. Who was the highest paid? And can you guess who it was? We're talking about physical therapists, strength coaches, fitness coaches. I'm looking at my sides a little bit close here. Life and health coaches, like for the fitness professionals that had those secondary specialties, the one that made more money compared to everyone else was the nutrition coach. Are you pumped to be here? You pumped to learn about how to apply this stuff? Let's show you how. Oh man, this wasn't always my reality. I've been doing this for a solid 15 years, but there was a time and place where I was down the path of like having a good job. I don't want to, downplay it and say that like, I wouldn't have been fortunate or any of those things, but I was very much on the path to becoming a teaching professional, where I taught in someone else's university, in someone else's school, jumping through like, so much, I don't know, red tape around, meetings, going to meetings about meetings. And I remember at that moment, like just dreading the aspect of working for someone else. And I remember at this time, I was doing graduate school in nutrition, but it was research-based stuff. So, I was contributing to a body of knowledge, but I wasn't working with people. I remember just thinking like, I would love to take what I'm learning and what I'm applying in my own life and teach that to others and make money doing it. And I was desperately wanted to coach others, but I just didn't think that was possible for me. It wasn't as popular, wasn't a straightforward enough path at that time, but I legitimately just did not think that was possible. Since that time, I've worked with within 15 years here, I've worked with over 2,200 nutrition clients. I performed, well, I'll teach you how to do this today, like 10,000 plus weekly check-ins. And through our Nutrition Coaching Academy, we've now certified 465 nutrition coaches. So what I thought was not possible, what I thought wasn't going to be my reality, like turned into, I could do this. I could teach others like you to do this, to get this stuff started and grow. And it's been just the coolest journey. What I want to teach you through this process today is, by the end of this webinar, I want you to be able to, number one, I'm going to teach you like how to deliver your coaching and how to structure it so that it actually works and it's actually profitable is the most important thing. What I don't want, and I'm going to be blunt about this, is like, I don't want you to go down this path with something that you're passionate about and end up sinking so much time and energy delivering a service that ends up just like being a minimum wage job. Like you don't want that. Like that will not work. You will burn out and stop doing it. And that doesn't help anyone. It doesn't help me help more people. It doesn't help you help people, any of those things. So you need the right coaching offer. And I'm going to explain to you the power of having one nutrition coaching offer. Next up, where are these people going to come from? Are you starting to think about that? I want to help you develop a strategy to land your first paying client or your next paying client. It's going to be some actionable stuff here. Additionally, like let's say you get this client, amazing. Kudos to you. Congratulations. I'm going to discuss the steps to actually coach this client, what the actual fulfillment looks like, how to do it, and how to get them results. So you can make money with your passion for nutrition. Let's dive in. First one, step one, the coaching offer. There's so many new and aspiring coaches out there that struggle to get past year 2 of their business because they don't have a clear coaching offer. The coaching offer that I want you to focus on and think about delivering in past today is going to be one-on-one coaching, and focus only on one-on-one coaching. I'll show you some examples of like what not to do in a second. But one-on-one coaching, what it would entail is that like you're checking in, you're coaching your clients individually, which means you're setting them up on an individual plan. You're not just educating whoever comes by you, right? You're setting up your clients on an individual plan. And then from there, the actual coaching process is fulfilled through weekly check-ins. They're on the same day every week. There's firm expectations around the check-in process, but the commitment for this in terms of how you deliver it is going to be month to month. You're not selling packages at the beginning. You're getting people to sign up to pay for a coaching service that is going to be priced in a month-to-month capacity as well. Most beginner to intermediate coaches can price their services at $200 to $300 per month and get this going and get people signed up and deliver an amazing service. So that's what I want you to focus on in terms of like one coaching offer. Now, people focus on so many different things. You ever seen the illusion of more? This is, an example of someone's social media link in bio where they have this like laundry list of things that people could do with them. We're talking supplements, informational guides, one-on-one coaching, which is great, but also like beginner options and education options, and my favorite, like, kitchen gadgets, and everywhere you've seen me on podcasts and all these things. Yeah, I mean, it's great to be present and to be showing up and doing a bunch of different things. But you know what happens when someone gets to this? If someone is curious about working with you or what they should do, they get to this point and they see like, what should I do? Do I need Mark's supplement? Do I need like his course? What's the cheapest? What do I do? They start having these conversations in their head if they think about it at all. And they don't make a decision because they're so overwhelmed about all the possibilities. What you want when people get to this point is just doing just one thing, one next step. There's an illusion that goes around. It's like, if I have more things to sell, I'll make more money. In reality, what happens is that you'll just get worse at selling more things. You need to remember, before Amazon sold everything, they only sold books, and they got really good at selling books. Everyone forgets that. It was one thing, and they really optimized that process. So it's going to be the same thing with you, just like one straightforward thing. And if you're guessing what that thing is, it's going to be your one-on-one coaching offer. The best way of doing this is just setting up a simple application form through the link in your social media profiles, but also like putting that everywhere, like on your business cards. It could be a QR code to that thing where people are like, if they have questions, don't do a contact us, like say like, hey, if you have a question, fill me in on, what you're trying to accomplish as well. And therefore, like, I can answer that question as well as give you some insight around like what coaching would look like. How does that sound? It's all about how you approach that stuff. But one straightforward way of putting this in one place allows people to see that there is an opportunity to work with you. So it makes it simple and obvious and straightforward. And then from there, they know that like there's less confusion around what the next step would be. This got to be simple and straightforward. I would do that through a simple application form. How do you get people to fill this out? Man, the people that are going to work with you, they're already all around you, and they're not other coaches, and they're not the people that you're afraid of, when you promote this stuff, of who's like judging you or thinking about this stuff. The people that are all around you are the people that already see you at the gym and assume you have it figured out, and they're asking you questions. They're people in your social circle. They're your acquaintances. They're people at work. They're the people that already know that like, hey, Mark is the type of person that could help me with this stuff. They just need an opportunity. So you got to make that obvious. You got to bring it up in person. You got to put it in a bunch of different places. And when you do that, people start to see that there's an opportunity to work with you. If this is making sense, guys, like, let me know in the chat. And if you have any questions, absolutely. And please hit that like button too, so this video goes even further and I can teach more people this stuff. Maybe you don't want that. Maybe You want to save it for yourself, which I get, but nah, just like it. Making it simple and obvious. Man, Coach Michelle, she went through our program. She talked about her personal transformation story. Something that she didn't want to put out there because she's like, who am I to talk about this stuff? Who am I to like talk about what I accomplished? And even though she was proud of it, but we gave her the push to put it out there. She had 20 interested people from one post about her story. She was thinking like, I can't believe this is happening. And it's all through just making that process simple and obvious. We started to think about like, okay, well, if we get people to go down this path with us and we're delivering this service this way, let's do some nutrition coaching math and breaking down like what's possible for you. If you had 5 clients that you're working with that were paying you $200 a month, you could do the check-ins, which I'm going to teach you how to do in step 3, all in one day. And you get good at them. They shouldn't take you any more than 10 minutes. So that's like an hour's work. And then you can spend some time promoting your service as well. Like that's something that in reality, we do the math quick, that's like $1,000 a month. And then from there, you can see how you can scale this process. Again, we're not promoting a bunch of different things to a bunch of different people. We're promoting one offer to people that they can see where they will get that result and that's the path forward. Then we can scale it from there. So when you take those 5 clients and you turn it into 10 clients because you're doing a good job, you're getting some referrals, you're talking about it on social media, the people around you start to know you as like, hey, Mark has a coaching offer. You can work with 10 clients. You can still do all those check-ins in one day, but you could also start to increase your services, the price of your services, because you're getting more results, you're getting more confidence, and everything is growing. From there, it's like, hey, I can be making $2,500 a month. That's a really good side hustle. If you're thinking about comparing this to other things you could do, the move here isn't investing a bunch of money into stuff that may or may not work. It's about taking your passion and your knowledge and turning it into a service where you can make money. And if you can do that, like I'm telling you, there's sky's the limit around this stuff. And you can get up to the point where you're working with 20 clients. You spread that out over a couple of check-in days, and then you're going to have to make some tough decisions around, hey, maybe this is my full-time thing. Maybe this is what I'm doing to make money, and it's a completely flexible capacity. And when I say flexible, I don't mean like you don't have to be working with a laptop from the beach. Like you could just be getting coffee with a friend during the day, not having to ask for time off, going to the gym on off hours, all that type of stuff. Like that's the flexibility most of us desire. Man, I told you guys I was going to talk about money a little bit, and I want to. There was a few things in my nutrition coaching journey like I never thought was possible for me, but my first 20K month was the thing that like, what a cool milestone. Because I think a lot of us are aiming for that. Like, I know if you're listening to this, a lot of you are like, hey, if I could make 5K a month, I'd have my expenses covered and I'd be making a professional wage and it'd be completely flexible. That would be pretty cool. But there's all those other milestones. And I want to show you in terms of this 20K month, the majority of the income came from one-on-one coaching. Either it came through one-on-one nutrition coaching or where I was also delivering like a powerlifting coaching service where it's like coaching, like training and nutrition. And that would be like 75% of my income came from there. That's where I focused my time and energy. Once I got to this point, I also started working a few other things in with the intent of getting clients. So, I mean, there was that like a low ticket nutrition challenge, like we did it, an 8-week challenge with the intent of getting clients. Like that wasn't my main thing. Many of you are thinking about, hey, the one-on-one service, like, are people going to find that too expensive? And maybe I'll do something cheaper, right? And then maybe you get a little traction that way, but you end up doing the exact same thing you would be doing in one-on-one coaching, just in a low ticket challenge. When I say low ticket, I mean like under $100 for the time commitment. And it just burns you out. And you don't attract the right kind of clients that are taking it seriously. So you want to focus your energy on one-on-one nutrition coaching and get to that point where you're working with 30 to 40 clients, because then you can also you could hire help. You could hire an assistant coach at a different coaching price to funnel some other people that way. These are all the things that are possible for you. But the majority of this stuff, it doesn't come through being an influencer and selling something. I could talk about the books I've written all day, and this ratio of numbers of $500 of 20,000 would say exactly the same, like without a doubt. And you can't. I was talking to someone on a sales call yesterday that was like, maybe like to build up trust, I should write an ebook and sell that way. And I'm thinking, you want to quit your full-time job in a little bit, right? In 3 months with coaching. Do you know how many $20 ebooks you need to sell to make up that full-time income? Like the math ain't mathin', and we got to think about it that way. When you have the right nutrition coaching offer, man, sky is the limit. I remember Coach Katana coming into our program. She had like 2 to 3 paying clients before the program. She was running a lot of like fitness challenges, and she had a full-time job working somewhere else in the service industry, and was thinking like, how am I ever going to like get out of this? I feel so lost. Like, what's the next, like, what do I have to do? She went through our program, started offering one-on-one nutrition coaching, and she got to the point where she had 50 paying clients. She was able to leave that job. And now her full-time job is like helping people with their passion through nutrition coaching. And it all comes down to the right nutrition coaching offer. Okay, so that's how to create a coaching offer that works. That's gonna, help you make money. Let me show you a quick and scrappy strategy to get people signed up. Let's talk about a client attraction system. Like, you want paying clients, right? Without it, you just have a time-draining hobby. Like, we got to focus on getting some clients. Man, I didn't know I was just about to say that. I said it too early. What you need is to take the people that are curious about solving their problems with you. You want to take them from thinking about it and turn them into paying clients. Here's how we do it in the Nutrition Coaching Academy. I remember my first chance at nutrition coaching way back when. This was 2007. I was studying chemistry in university. I don't know if you guys knew that. My undergraduate degree was in chemistry, and I didn't love it. Didn't love it at all. Thought, what? All my peers were like really into it and enjoying it, and I just thought like, this is the most boring thing. But at the time, I was super into the gym and nutrition. I'd read everything on bodybuilding.com and on tnation.com, and I started to see the path where I could I could take my research background and study nutrition. But what I really wanted to do was to be helping people. And I remember this guy, he was an acquaintance, came to me, like in the study hall, and said like, hey, spring break's coming up. Like, can you help me get shredded? And I remember thinking like, yeah, of course I can. Like, I'm loving this. This is my first chance at coaching. And I was like, yeah, like I can totally help you. Like, when do you need a plan by? He's like, well, like, could you give it to me? Can you get it to me by tomorrow? I was like, man, I should be studying right now. But yeah, like, this is my first chance at coaching. I can definitely do that. So what happened? This is my first chance at coaching. I stayed up all night that night when I should have been studying, putting together a plan, thinking like, this is my opportunity. This is like, man, this could be the thing that helps me make money during university. I could turn this into a career. I remember working really, really hard at putting this all together. And I remember I hit send and I sent it off. And I remember this being like a really detailed document, like a whole training plan, a list of foods to eat, why those foods were important, how it was going to put them in a calorie deficit. It was individualized. It was personalized. It had a lot of thought and energy into it. I basically like spilled my guts around like everything I compiled knowledge-wise into this document. And I remember sending it off, and I remember seeing him the next day, or a few days later actually, and asking like, hey, how's everything going? Like, have you started the plan? And he's like, nah, I haven't got a chance to open it yet. I remember thinking like, what, like, it was my heart sank, right? Because I put so much time and energy into it. And I remember thinking at that moment, like, okay, something's got to be different here. This guy didn't even check it out, and he would do it. He'd never follow through. He'd never apply what I was teaching or what I passed along. It was just a complete waste of time. And I knew at that moment I needed to do something differently. Should I have like charged for it right off the bat? Maybe, but there's something that's even more powerful that gets people bought in and committed and doing the things. And I kind of stumbled upon that process. Let me show you how that works. In the Nutrition Coaching Academy, we call this process the free nutrition report. And it took me a few years after that to develop. It wasn't like right off the bat. But what I got people doing is like, when they ask me questions, like, study hall bro that wanted to get shredded for spring break. And he's like, what do I need to do? I took those questions and said like, hey, that's a great, like, yeah, I can definitely help you. Like, let me show you how this works. Let me show you like, hey, what might be holding you back from reaching your goals. I got these people doing some of the work up front, and sometimes they wouldn't do it, which was fine. You got it, Milton. Milton says, hey, like, not sidetracked. Thanks for all the free webinar, Dr. Mark, and all the free value you provide daily to the emails. You're the best. Hey, I appreciate it. If number one, Milton, thank you. You're an amazing coach. And I'm excited to see what the future has in store for you. I also know it's an exciting time for you. So, hey, thanks for reaching out and watching. Number two, if you're not on the email list, and I email you guys every day, things about this stuff. So make sure you find a way to get on it. I have a few opportunities at the end here. But yeah, check it out, because I'm sending that stuff out every day. So what I needed to do during that period was, hey, get them to do some work up front. And if they didn't do it, then whatever. Like, I doesn't no skin off my back. Like, I'm moving on without you. But when I got them actually taking a look at their nutrition and starting to measure it and then giving it back to me, I was able to show them what was holding them back from reaching their goals. And I can actually do an assessment on them. And you know what that did? Number one, they were like, oh, this is what coaching is all about. This is pretty cool. No one's ever done this for me on an individual level. It got me to like flash my knowledge and my skills, and that I actually had a plan for them, right? I just wasn't someone smart about nutrition. I was a coach that could identify where they were going wrong and what they needed to change and deliver it that way. Do you guys know the law of reciprocity? Like, when you do something for someone else, they're more likely to try to extend that back the other way. So you start coaching people through this capacity for free, and they're more likely to take that next step. That's what I was able to develop through that process, instead of just like starting to coach people. When I started doing this stuff, people couldn't say no. I remember getting my first paying client this way, and it was actually just kind of a shot in the dark. It was a guy in the gym, like one of my training partners. I was like, dude, you're looking really lean. Like, what are you doing? And I was like, well, I'm doing, you know what? Instead of me just telling you what I'm doing, like, why don't I show you what I'm doing? I took him through the process. I gave him a free nutrition report. I showed him where his food levels should be. I showed him what he needed to be focusing on. Got my first paying client that way. Then my next paying client, like 10 clients. And then my first 100 clients, without a doubt, were just through this process. So this is one of the same things we still teach today. The principle here is showing people and not just telling them, right? Showing them what they need to do, instead of just like kind of blindly educating them. What you can do, and to do something similar, is number one, that application form we talked about, start collecting their goals via a form. That's the most important question that you need to ask, is like what they want to accomplish and why it's important to them, because that's your leverage over the whole entire process. Remember, this might sound counterintuitive, but no one wants to hire a nutrition coach, but they'll happily pay for the result of working with one. When you can focus on everything you're telling someone and put it in the lens of, here's what you need to do to get a result, people are going to take that next step and they're going to pay you. The next step in this process, though, is getting them to track their nutrition through an app. It's basically a food journal that takes their overall food choices within portion sizes and food items and turns that into objective information. And if they do start doing that stuff, you better believe they're going to be a good client, because they're actually starting to take some of those steps. We take a look at those averages over the course of 3 to 5 days and compare them to optimal levels and what they should be doing on an individual basis, depending on their goals. And we start to we tell them exactly what they would need to do. We put that in place. And at that same time, through that report, we can also, it's a natural segue into here's what coaching would look like. So we can put that all together that way. The general principle here is show them versus tell them. So that's step two. That's the process in terms of that's a client attraction strategy that'll allow you to make money. If you're listening to this today, try that out on someone. Literally, try that out on one of your coworkers and see how it goes. I bet you it's going to be a lot more effective than just lecturing them on some diet that they shouldn't be doing. It's a game changer. Now that you have a paying client, let me show you how to actually coach them. Step 3, putting a nutrition coaching system in place. If you can take anything away from today's webinar, understand this. Nutrition coaching is a results-based business. If you can deliver results, you'll always be able to make money. And since 90% of your clients are going to want some sort of body composition result, either losing fat or gaining muscle or a combination of both, you need to focus on the nutritional variables that produce those results, which means you need to create a plan that incorporates how much total food they should be eating through calories and where that food should come from. The macronutrients are the large components of our food that deliver those calories, protein, carbohydrates, and fat. We need to have a plan that focuses on that. Now, you can't just stop there, though. You need to actually, that's the roadmap, but how you fill that structure should be through the art of coaching, which is getting them to focus on the things they need to be doing to fill that structure. We're talking about action steps and different behaviors to be able to fill that structure. Then from there, what are they reporting back to you on a weekly basis? How the plan is going. Show me the numbers around how you're eating in reference to the targets and food levels we set up. And we're collecting objective information around that, as well as they're filling you in on how the week went subjectively through, a Google form that asks them what went well, what needs to be improved, where things are, going next, all those type of things. And we're focusing on that stuff. You create this weekly check-in process around 1 day a week where they know exactly where to submit the information, at what time, when you're going to respond. Again, you don't need to do this in a live capacity. You shouldn't do it in a live capacity. People are busy and they don't want to meet with you. If this is news to you, take this to heart. In 2026, people are way too busy to schedule another appointment. And we have the technology to work around it. So just create a non-live check-in system that you can do and respond to in 10 minutes. And it takes them 10 minutes on everyone's own time with clear expectations on that process. And you will build a nutrition coaching business that scales. Just breaking down these steps here. If you've never seen our shared sheet, this thing has been downloaded 8,000 times, which is actually crazy to me. People are still using it and enjoying it. If you're watching the replay now, and if you use this sheet, let me know. I'd love to hear that. I've seen it. I came across it translated in a bunch of different languages: Spanish, Japanese, it's French. It's the coolest thing to me. But I also had no idea you guys wanted stuff like this. The practical, applied, nitty-gritty information that allows you to coach and collect information. This is something that I created in 2011, and I still use it. We use different coaching softwares in different ways, and there's ones that are getting pretty close to exactly what you need to coach in a way that delivers results. But there's nothing better than just a super straightforward, streamlined sheet that you can customize, that's easy to navigate and is organized to deliver your coaching. And this is where you collect some of that objective information. Then the subjective information, just a simple, straightforward Google form that asks, how things went on a scale of 1 to 5. How adherent were you to your nutrition goals? How did exercise go? What went well this week? Give me some successes. What needs some improvement? What are some roadblocks? And what things do we need to prepare for? Remember, since you're not doing this in a live capacity, you want to get ahead of stuff that you'll address in your feedback. So you want to ask some questions that are going to allow them to be I got 2 birthday parties this weekend. One's important to me, one I'm just showing up for, what do I do kind of thing. You're getting ahead of that stuff. People that hire you are going to expect, they're going to think you want them to be perfect. And you're going to be no, that's not important to this process. But unless you have a way of getting on the same page, that's going to be tough to navigate. So you're trying to get ahead of all this stuff by asking the right questions. Then your response, you're going to put it all together in terms of, we use something called our hybrid check-in process. The client submits all this information. It gets back to you, and then you're going to respond doing a video voiceover, which is going to be the easiest way to communicate this stuff, right? You could type it all out, which is what I did for about 5 years straight, just spending all day typing. And then I realized I could just talk over this stuff using video technology like Loom, and it's recorded. And now we have transcripts of that stuff. It's even better, it's better for like, hey, all the helpful stuff I say, I can just have a transcript of it and turn it into more content. What a time to be alive. There's things that I've done. There's things that I've done manually for years that are just so much easier. And this isn't like you guys have it so lucky thing, but just like utilize the technology because it's there. So you respond using something like Loom and going down that path. And this is something that should take you 10 minutes and be super straightforward, and your clients will love it and they will get results. I remember a period of time where I was working with 100+ nutrition clients, and at the beginning of the week, I would just write all their names out and their check-in days. And as I completed their check-ins, I would just strike their name through and move on to the next one. And that was what I would call like the perfect nutrition coaching system. It wasn't super flashy. There was no like, user management system or anything along those lines. You need something simple and straightforward, especially as, you're putting this stuff together and pushing it that way. And getting it started. The power of a nutrition coaching system. I remember Coach Chad joining our program, and he was just like, he's driving all over town, training people, giving them nutrition advice, wasn't sure how to market or grow his business. He put this type of coaching system in place and started attracting the right people. And like right off the bat, he was able to do this in a flexible capacity and started earning an extra $1,000 a month just through the right strategies. Now, okay, what did we talk about today? We talked about one coaching offer, super important. We talked about a strategy to attract paying nutrition clients, as well as once you have them, how do you coach them in like a simple coaching system? And these are the steps and strategies that help me build a profitable nutrition coaching business. They've worked when I started teaching this stuff, it was with the intent of building out my team. And then it turned into a bunch of you following along. And then now going through our Nutrition Coaching Academy program, and nearly 500 of you have completed that. So this is the process that we've developed. I'm confident these strategies will work for you too. Now, if something that I said kind of sparked your interest and you're ready to start nutrition coaching and you're ready to help people with your passion, number one, I'm happy for you to just take this information and go apply it and for it to work. Like, honestly, go to town. I love it. Like, please do that, because it helps me also help more people and make our communities and our world a healthier place. But you might be also thinking like, hey, I'm not sure that's going to work for my situation, or there's a roadblock in the way, or like what do I do to do this? Or, I already have some clients, but I'm not sure about that. Hey, I have some opportunities for some more support. So let's do this. Over the next few days, I have some time set aside to set you up to start nutrition coaching. We'll talk for it'll be a 30-minute call. We'll set up an action plan around like how to set up your nutrition coaching and what you need and what that will look like in terms of nutrition coaching offer, the systems and the approach using the strategies that I outlined today. And this is going to help you get this stuff started and get paying clients. I will say this, I've done these type of calls in the past, and I've had people message me later and say like, that was like the most helpful thing I've done all year. I put something into action and I already had someone reach out. Like, this is crazy. And this could be the most profitable 30 minutes you spend in your business all year. So I'm happy to extend that to you. Book in for a call. I'll drop this in the chat right here, right away. And we'll have some time to answer some questions in a second here, but take me up on this. If you're watching the replay and there's still spaces available, book in for a call and we'll be chatting about next steps and how that is going to apply for you. Please take me up on that, because I'm excited to help you take this next step. So the link is right there. Book in for that. And I hope you found some value today. You got some time for questions as well. So like, what are you guys thinking? What is the first strategy you're going to try here? Anything specific? We talked about the nutrition coaching offer. So if you guys have any like pricing questions or like how to deliver this, or should I do it this way, or where will these people come from, or I've been posting this and it hasn't been working yet, or anything along those lines, like let me know in the comments. Drop it in the comment. If you're too afraid to ask too, here, number one, it's unfortunate because if you have that question, someone else does and they would benefit. So not like you owe it to them to ask, but it would be helpful for everyone. But you could also book in for a call and we can break this down one-on-one and in that capacity. You guys got any questions? If not, we'll leave it there for today. But book in for that call. That opportunity is there for you to grow and evolve. And I'm looking forward to chatting and helping you start nutrition coaching. Those are 3 steps to start making money with nutrition coaching this year. Let me know what questions you have. And if you need any more advice or input, I'm happy to do that. Okay. Chat soon, guys. Bye. Now, as great as all those tips are, maybe you're still wondering how to start or grow your nutrition coaching. Here's what I want you to do. Go to the first link down in the description below, and you'll get all the details on our Nutrition Coaching Academy certification. It's a 90-day program that'll give you everything you need to start nutrition coaching or to take your nutrition coaching business to the next level. Check out all the details down in the link below, and thanks for watching.